All right, what's good? What's good? Welcome back to the Chop Shop, presented by the Director Dan Podcast. We are on episode 37. I'm Mike Chalk, aka Chalk Affair. I'm in here with my guys, man. Go ahead, man. Jump in here, tap in with us real quick.
What
What's
up?
happening?
What
What's
up?
happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
How everybody doing?
Still in my New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? We still celebrating our victory, no limit over cash money.
It's been a minute, y'all.
With a
Like the
with a
shirt.
Biggie shirt on.
I like the shirt with the Biggie shirt
Thank you.
on, huh?
Oh.
Right, right.
babe. I'm gonna mute myself now.
What's going on with y'all boys?
you know,
Good. I
cold,
can't
trying to stay
complain.
warm.
Yeah,
You
man,
know,
it's been a good week.
it's
Been a good weekend.
February. As a basketball coach, it's February. It's about to get ready for tournament time.
Yeah.
You hear that shot? We're about to get ready for tournament time.
I hear you. I hear you. We'll
I
cross that
can't wait
bridge
for
when we
that
get to
week.
it. Yeah, we will cross that bridge when
Yeah,
we get to
yeah.
it. No, but so we'll get right into it, man. Like we said, it's been a minute since we tapped in. It's always good to break bread with my brothers, and also the chat and everybody else who hop in and show support. There's been a lot of people who've been asking too, like what's going on. We want to hear something new from y'all, so we definitely appreciate y'all putting pressure on us because it just means it's just love and that y'all like what we're doing. But tonight though, the topic we're gonna jump into because with this group right here, we all millennials. You know what I'm saying? And we was all raised a certain type of way. And actually, we've all been raised a different way than we actually raised our own kids, to be real. But the question for tonight is, though, with us and our upbringing, how do you balance the tough love mentality that you was brought up with, but also with being an emotional, supporting, and loving parent? Like, how do you bring the two worlds together to make sure that your kid is getting the best of both worlds? Because you want to raise your kid to be tough and be able to stand on their own 10, but you also want them to be able to think on their own 10 per se when the
Yeah.
time's coming from an emotional standpoint. So, I'm gonna go last, but I'm gonna kick it off with EJ first. Like, how do you balance those two different worlds?
Oh man. Oh man. Why you put me on the spot like that, Chalk? Repeat the question. Repeat the question one more time
So
so
this,
I can have clarity.
so how do you balance the tough love mentality that you was given, that you was brought up with? Because we hear, the
Mm,
stories about your dad and some, different stories with your mom as well, and the different households and all the brothers you had, and
yeah.
you had to connect dots in certain situations. How do you balance
Yeah.
that with being a emotional and supportive parent to your boys at that? Because you got all boys. You know what I'm saying? So how do you balance the two to make sure that they are being, I don't want to say groomed, but being nurtured into well-rounded young men?
Bro, I think I still haven't figured out the piece to that. I feel like I'm still working through those kinks. I'm so happy that I have the wife that I have. For example, yesterday Inez had a basketball game. I don't know what happened. Because was crying the whole basketball game. Just crying, you know what I mean? Like just emotionally unstable. I don't know if he was just overstimulated from everything going on. You got coaches yelling plays and tell you do this, and then you try to listen to the ref, and on top of do a good job. And to be honest, I think the best thing I did was be silent because I really didn't know what to say. And I just communicated with my wife that I didn't have the words to really say because really a big part of me was like on the emotional side too. Like, bro, you letting down your team. You ain't playing. I'm asking you want to get in the game. You ain't trying to get in the game. This is it's a lot of pieces at play there. Plus, you crying and you ain't telling me why. You know what I mean? And I was starting to get frustrated. But my wife was just texting me, and she talked to him at halftime, and she really couldn't even talk to him. But she told me, she said, I didn't force it. Like, we're just going to see how second half is, let it be what it's going to be, and talk to him after the game, right? Like once it's all over. And so once she talked to him, it made it easier for me to have a conversation because I was able to piggyback off of some of the input that she had like talked to him about. And it made even talking about sports and talking about work ethic, right? Because I'm all about hard work and I'm all about work ethic and getting it done, right? Like and being your best in the moment, like whatever your best is today, like be that. And I didn't feel like he did that, but it hearing her and how she broke it down and articulated how he was feeling to me helped me really understand like, okay, so this is the angle I can take from it. So I think, bro, the balance is really my wife. Like it's really
Mm,
the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think that she has, she stayed at home with Inez for like the first 7 years of his life. Like she was just a stay at home mom with him. So I feel like they have like I recognize they have a crazy connection to where
mm,
those tough conversations can be had. Um, and I don't know. And like I said, I feel like I'm working, like we're progressing. And there's been times where I can say something to him, but also like Inez is like he's such a genius, right? We tell him all the time, you're so smart in school, and you're smart at everything you want to be smart at, but taking feedback, taking criticism. That's why I'd be happy that we have a village in our new birth basketball community because Sledge was pulling him to the side. I seen AJ drop a gem on him or two. You know what I mean? Like, and it's different people that outside of me. And so I think having community and village and having my wife is really how I've been able to balance my son's emotions and letting them know when something is off and how we can communicate about it, if that makes sense.
See, God,
no, that's dope.
God is God is funny though, because God prepared me for this conversation. Without even knowing that I was about to have this conversation today. Because I'm with you, EJ. I talked to Baby B earlier, and this literally was the same conversation that we had. And she was explaining to me that winning your kid over with conversation. So, and I think that was something that we lacked a lot of when I was growing up. It was more so just my parents, both my mother and my father, they was, what I'm saying, they was a bit hard, and they would say things to me. And now that I'm looking back on them, if they would have just had conversations with me in regards to how I feel or the feelings that I was going through, or, what I'm saying, the emotions that I was dealing with, what I'm saying, like you use words overstimulated, you got to think back in the day, we wasn't using words of overstimulated or ADHD or what I'm saying? Like those were things that we weren't talking about in black households. You know what I'm saying? We're speaking more on those things because it is a little bit difficult. Me with having 3 kids, I got 2 girls and a boy. So when it comes to me, I got to be more softer and gentle with the girls than I am with my son. And we already went through the years of me teaching my son how to be tough, and I'm paying for it. My son, he's not as aggressive as he was in the past, but he is at the point now where now I got to be able to teach him to re and refocus and kind of calm down on his emotions. You know what I'm saying? Let's get your emotions in check. Let's handle yourself. Like, so it's like when we first have kids, what I'm saying, we teach our boys to be, oh, you got to be tough and stop that crying and all this, that, and the third. Then when they do that and they too tough, now we telling them, oh, you got to be gentle. You got to be softer. You got to be able, don't yell at your mother. Don't swell up on your sisters or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the way we were taught back in the day and opposed to how we want to raise our kids now, especially kingdom children and act out of the fruits of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, when I was raised, it was completely different.
Yeah.
Let me say that I know Clee about to hop in, but definitely shout out to Meg. Like I know you said mentioned her being your balance, VJ. So shout out to the homie Meg for sure. Um, and then I guess Clee too from a different perspective on it. Like you kind of heard what they said. But what would you, when you dial into it, Clay? What would you say are some of the pros and cons of how you was raised? Pros, cons, and then also how you're raising your own daughter. Pros, cons, like what you take from your past.
The pros in it is that how can I put this? Me and my brother were raised, so I eight of us. We all got the same mom, got the same dad. It's only me and my brother. Then we got six sisters. So me and my brother were intentionally raised different than my sisters were. So for example, my sisters could call that crib and ask to get picked up from wherever, and one of my parents gonna go get them. Me and my brother call, depending on the time and the place where we at. Hey, you can either catch the bus or you can walk. You know what I mean? Like so, my sisters were parented or kind of stewarded as they went along. Me and my thank you, Lord. My sisters were kind of parented like when you have your GPS up, if you got another app open, it doesn't show you the whole destination. It only gives you the next step. So that's how my sisters were parented step by step. Whatever stage they were at, that's how the parenting was appropriated for them. Me and my brother, we were more so parented on a destination type of thing is it doesn't matter what age you are, we're raising you to be a man. The destination is you're going to be a man. So even at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm not parenting you as an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 year old. I'm parenting you as you're eventually going to be a man. So at 12, if you have a grown man fear, you actually have to learn how to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we grew up in a real hood, like not the rap hood. So we had famous crackheads, ghouls, goblins, a guitar man, a troll lady. You know what I'm saying? Like these are neighborhood stars. You know what I'm saying? And at 12 years old,
Yeah.
you
No.
got to overcome that fear. You know what I mean? My sisters and my mother did not take out trash and still don't to this day if me and my brother are around. You know what I mean? So I'm 12 years old taking trash out in the back. It's dark outside. You know, you got the big old dumpster in the back. So you got to run out there. You know what I'm saying? That's how I almost said the wrong word, but that's how I end up getting kind of like fast and quick. You know what I'm saying? Like once I throw that trash in that, but
You
listen,
gotta
before I
go.
throw that trash in the air, listen, before that trash hit that trash can, buddy,
Yeah, you gotta go.
that's hey, that's why I thought I could run that 40.
You
That's why I was
gotta
trying to run that 40
go.
when we went to Cleveland.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Man,
But
that boy
to
was
your
out
to the second,
there.
hey, I really thought I was gonna run a sub five 40-yard dash though. Bless my heart. But
Hold on, did
anywho,
you get hurt after
Said
running
sub
that?
five.
hey, don't worry about all that. Just don't worry
I just
about
asked, hold on,
that.
but didn't you like tear a meniscus or ACL or something trying to run a 40?
I I tore I tore my hamstring off the bone.
Hey,
Baby got
Yeah.
snatched off like ribs.
Listen, that was a tough game, bro. We walking up steps. I'm like, nigga, you can't hinder Chalk's experience because you want to be out here trying to be Dion, bro. So I had to thug that out,
did
but I
y'all
bet you I
y'all
won't
won
run
that game
another
or y'all
40
lost?
in my life. Mm-mm. But to answer the back part of that
Y'all won
question,
that game
though,
or y'all lost?
to answer the back part of that question, though, so I like with my daughter because I heard TD Jake say this one time. So what you said earlier, EJ, about Megan, he said the wife is often the translator of the house. So when dad is saying
Yeah,
something to the kids,
yeah.
then mom has to come in either if it's too intense, she has to intercede right there.
Mm.
Or once it's over with, she has to come in the room and hey, your dad is under the, he dealing with a lot or, he didn't mean that or whatever the case was. And my mother had to do that for my own father. So to that point, I understand having that translator in the house, but with me being divorced and a single parent, I don't have that translator. So that makes me have to tap in even more to my lace side. Like
Mm.
TD Jakes, again, just to kind of glean from him, he said a marriage is like leather and lace. Like, and depending on the mood or depending on what's going on, sometimes you have more leather, sometimes you have more lace. But with me being, all time leather and not having lace in my house as of right now, it's tough for me. So I have to be mindful that even my regular voice sounds too much for my daughter at times, and I cannot even be mad or upset or nothing. That's just my man voice. I'm just talking, but sometimes that's too much for her because when she's with her mom, there's not a male voice around. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I have to balance that out and no, you don't have a translator right now. So you have to operate with with that in mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, and I
Nah, that's
think that's
good.
good that you said that, because I didn't even say nothing, but my wife came up to me and she said, "You not saying something, me knowing you, you're saying a lot." And
Mm.
so I knew you weren't
Mm,
in a position to have that conversation with him, and mainly because I know my kids, and I know Inez is he's such a good kid, he's such a gentle heart, and he reminds me a lot of myself at that age playing sports. And what I had was my dad. Now, mind you, we wasn't crying and all that, but like, just fragile, not really liking contact and all that type of stuff. Like some stuff you gotta grow into when it comes down to like loving sports, like and understand that it's a contact sport. You might get bumped, bruised. Like I then start switching up from football to basketball. It's gonna be any softer. I told him, brother, bro, you fall on this ground, it really hurts, bro. I'd rather fall on turf and grass than the hardwood floor. And so, like, I'm just like I said, I'm so blessed for her translation, and not only just that, but her knowing me and knowing who I am. That she knew the best thing I could do was to be quiet, because the only thing I'm replaying in my head, like when I want to say something, is what my dad would say to us. Man, stop being soft. Stop being this. Stop being that. Man, what? You letting your team down. Blah, 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 blah. Like, just cut you down. Like, you want to get cut down? You want to feel, you want to be crying and all that? Bet. I got something for, what they say? You want to cry? I got something for you to cry about. You know what I'm saying? And that was the mentality. And I couldn't get that out of my head. So I just was like, text my wife. Like, thank God for the cell phone. She on the other side of the court watching the same thing I'm watching. I'm like, yo, you gonna have to talk to him. I gotta leave him. I gotta submit him over to his mother, because I'm not even in a position that if he was to tell me really what's going on, to really be able to receive it and articulate it in the way that I should as a good godly father, right? Like I don't want to be down his throat. He's not even 10 yet. I'm just proud of him for wanting to be out here and wanting to compete, right? But he does have that. He knows, and this is another thing, and I'll pass it to Mike. He knows that he wants to please me. He knows that I'm a sports guy. He knows that I think Inez does sports because of me. You know what I mean? Like I think if we really gave him a choice, he really wouldn't. But we did set a precedence that you have to do something in our house. There's no sitting around just playing video games all day. You're going to be active in something. I don't care. I asked him at the table that night, Sunday night, yesterday. You want to play tennis? I don't care what you play. You want to play pickleball? What you want to do? Like, I'd rather you be happy in the thing that you want to do, because I know you're out there and I know you may feel like you let me down too. Like, I know you know that already. That's the part of the reason being just a good father. I don't have to drill that down your throat, because I know he know. Like, dang, although I'm in my mess, I did let my dad down because he tried to pep me up all throughout the game and I wasn't receiving it. And then when I totally shut down, which wasn't a total shutdown, but it was a reserve shutdown. Like, he's just sitting on the other side of the bench. I'm like, my shutdown was like, talk to them other coaches. I ain't. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I don't know what to say to you right now, other than what is wrong, nigga.
But no, Cleo, you made a really good point. Cleo, you made a really good point though. And I think that that is very, very true, especially in a young household. Like my wife is literally the sole translator when it comes to the kids expressing their feelings to me. And, I more so be like, sometimes, it be sounding too good when she be saying it and breaking it down until I start looking over at my kids and I see them, bobbing their head like, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But again,
Bro,
at the
that
end of the
that
day,
pisses you off too,
y-
don't it, bro? Keep it
Yeah,
all the
do
way a
it
buck, bro.
upsets you
I
because you
hate.
like,
I'm
dang,
like, nigga,
I ain't really
go in
think
the
that
other
that's how y'all
room.
felt,
I
but
need
she
to
was
have
on
my
point.
vulnerable
Yeah,
moment alone.
yeah. But also too though, is like learning that you can't parent all of your children the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I know even for me, you know, my son, he understands the level of expectation that I have for him, whether it's on the football field, whether it's on the basketball court, like whether it's in a baseball diamond, like he understands the level of competitiveness I need him to have. You know what I'm saying? But I know for the last few years, I coached my son. This was the first season that I actually had to take a break and a step back because, you know, my son ended up telling me, hey, I don't need a coach, I need a dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to scale back, you know? So now I try to, you know, I had seen a video a long time ago and it says, it was a guy and a son, and he says, hey, when I put this hat on, I'm your coach. When I take this hat off, I'm your dad. You know what I'm saying? So he would have conversations in the car ride on the way home from the game with both. You know what I'm saying? He'll put the hat on, he'll tell him what he did, give him corrective criticism, then he'll take the hat off and he'll be a dad, you know? Now, me, you know, I'll be out there officiating my son games, you know. I'll take all the eyes, but like I told him yesterday, I don't call fouls on my son. I'm trying to teach him how to adversity. You got to be able to play through it. They don't always, it's not going to always go your way.
You gave him an
You
and
know
one
what I
yesterday.
mean? So I did. I did. He was getting
You,
fouled the whole game. I had to give him
hey,
the one. He was
Like,
getting
wait a
he was getting
hey,
fouled the
hey,
whole game. The
at
whole
a
game. I'm like, come
clutch
on,
period of
I
time, at a clutch period of time when they was like, low, I think they was down by one. He was like, foul and one. I was like,
yeah.
that boy AJ still coaching.
So he had his man
I ain't
came
mad at it.
first.
I do the same thing. I'm about to start refing next year, gang.
Man, y'all said a lot though. The translator thing sitting with me too because it made me think about like the corporate world from the standpoint of a wife, like managing up but also managing down. She can manage up into the household to the head of the household, knowing what's going on and kind of being a seat filler for the head of the household when needed in those moments when you can't, um, you know, enunciate or just communicate the right way. And also managing down, being the nurturer at the times needed with the kids, but kind of coming back around to it though with the pros and cons of it for me. Like some things too, like I mean, just in general too, you see a lot of parents, particularly dads, and some moms. In some cases, you can go to a game and see them in the crowd talking crazy to their kid, yelling at them like they Brown, Jordan, Steph Curry or something. And sometimes it be people I know, and I'll be like, you was nowhere near like the kid that you trying to make your kid be. Like you wasn't even like that. So what gives you the right to be trying to put this expectation on them when you wasn't like that? You should be giving your kid just as much grace as you had, because if you're not preparing your kid the right way, how can your expectations be high of them? How can you not? How can the bar be high and you're giving them low? You feel me? You're giving them low quality preparation, low quality tools to use. Like you giving somebody a pencil and telling them to go dig a hole, but you ain't give them a shovel for real. So, and some of that, it's our generation. Like I said, millennials. Like we came up in that tough era where, regardless if we was whatever the best athletes, whatever the case may be, we still have parents that didn't allow us to express ourselves a certain way. So sometimes we might carry it too far. And I'll be having to catch myself too with all mines. My son, he get it hard, but then also my daughter, she's playing basketball now, and Mason as well. But just on any type of level, I try to push them, but also try to have a line in the sand. Or all right, bro, you got to dial it back a little bit because like you don't want to push them to where they jump off of this, or where they don't even care about the line in the sand, or where they backtrack and like, man, I can't do this because if my dad's gonna continue to interact with me in this way, I don't want to do it. I'd rather just be loving with my dad. I'd rather not be arguing with my dad about this. I'd rather go do something else that is not gonna bring this type of tension between us. And I mean, the pros of it too. Like I said, my son now, I'm making him do push-ups. And the great thing about it is that he don't argue with me about it. I love it. As a dad, I love it. I'm like, all right, man, you got to give me these five real quick. I put my fists on the ground. He dropped down, bam, bam, bam. Like, what I gotta do next? All right, give me these sit-ups, bam, bam, bam. What I gotta do next? And I'm loving it. But it's like, all right, I love that, but I gotta also be ready in the moment where you're like, Dad, I don't feel like doing it. I gotta be ready to give like an explanation on a why. I try to work on having a why behind everything I explain to them because I don't want to just be saying, oh, it's just because I'm saying it. This is my way. You listen to what I say. No, I gotta have a why so they can connect the dot for themselves. In that
Yeah.
way, it can
Come
also
on,
just connect
Shaq.
to different lives. You feel me? Like the way not just sports or your push-ups, but your school, bro, your relationships, your feelings, your thoughts. Like, and I always say
Come
having two
on.
daughters first made me a better dad for my son because if I would have had him first, he might be crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. Cause I did it to my little brother like that. He was like my son. My man, my middle brother Tay Chalk, y'all know him. He a little rough. Like he still probably fighting some of that. We never even had this conversation. Like, but I was like his dad for real. I had him fighting everybody in the neighborhood. I was showing him everything because I felt like I was his dad. So like I only can imagine what Lil Mike would be like if he was my first kid. Man, that boy might be Junior Healy or somebody running around here, problem child. Like, man,
Ah,
Yeah, y'all be out here like Boosie and Tootsie Raw.
man, hey, real rap, straight up, bro, like straight up. But that's my two cents. I don't know if anybody else want to piggyback off of.
No, I think you
no,
hit
though, I
hit
think
on
that was good though.
some great
Yeah,
points, bro.
that was
Like
good.
that was good. And in sidebar chalk, like it's crazy because you said parents in the crowd that's like that. Like if Lil Mike was like your firstborn, and you be probably be in the crowd doing the same rah rah, but then they be like, but you be like, I'm like that. Like I was like
Well,
that.
check that.
Check what you want to go right now? 1-on-1 for who right?
But now that you said that though, it would take me back to my dad because I always heard about my dad. But my dad was like that on that football field and in that baseball field. So whatever he said, it was God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it was God. Like he was the God because he said it, and he didn't even have to brag to me. It would be his friends like, man, your dad, your dad, your dad. So I just had to shut up and take whatever he talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to that
Mhm.
point,
Listen, they had posted something. This was 2 days ago in Cleveland, and it had came on one of the little league um football pages. So on the page it says, who was the best player that you seen playing in the Cleveland Muni League Football League, right? So you go to the comments and people are going in the comments and they throwing names out there and some names out there and some repeated names out there. And then I started to think back and I reposted it and I said, me, I was the best kid that ever come out of Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all asking, you know what I'm saying? So once I had posted it, you know what I'm saying, and start to see like the different comments and what people used to say, like, dang, like, nah, you was solid. You was actually good. You know what I mean? So it's like now my son right now, he don't have the talent that I had at his age. You know what I'm saying? But he also didn't. He also got way more resources than I had. So we just played sports. We was outside, so it's like talent came from just being outside and playing every day. These kids don't be outside like how we used to. So it's like,
Not at
but
all.
now he got the resources. But like if I had the resources that these kids got now, back when I was in high school. You couldn't have told me nothing, man. You wouldn't have been able to tell me nothing. Even traveling, like
Yeah.
high schools, like I think about like when I was in high school, we wasn't traveling across the city, across the state to go play games and play this team from here and play that team from there. Like the exposure, like that you have from YouTube to TikTok to Instagram to where, you know what I'm saying, where you was watching film and you know what I'm saying, we was watching VHS tapes that the coach went and recorded the team when we was doing film sections back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have huddle and max preps and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just like these kids ain't don't even understand the grind that you had to put in back then when you was, you know what I'm saying, a kid. And Shock, I know you could contest to that too. You know what I'm saying? You too, EJ. You too, Clee. You know what I'm saying? Like when back in the day, like we had to work extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Our goals and our our light and our shine was when we went to play other neighborhoods. Like we would come to your neighborhood with 10, 11 kids and let's get an 11 on 11 football game going on. You know what I mean? So it's just like I just think that, you know, now, you know what I'm saying? And this is really a good topic though. You know what I'm saying? You just the way that we was raised and the way that it is now, it's just like no, even the sensitivity, being in tune with your feelings and your emotions, like I wasn't taught that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't taught to just be cool, be chill. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was always taught that, I grew up in the hood. Like I was always taught to be aggressive. It was aggressive or nothing. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was do what you gotta do, be like, you know what I'm saying? You and again, like even your peers in the neighborhood, they the way that they raised you, they wasn't nobody around you about to just let you just if you was gonna be soft, you was gonna be the one that got picked on. If you was gonna be soft, you was gonna be the one that's getting beat up in the neighborhood. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just how it was necessarily.
I think to that sentiment though, our kids we because we had the experiences we had, our kids are not faced with those same adversities. Not in my
Mm-hmm.
like I grew up off of Fifth Avenue in St. Clair, Peters and Shoemaker, right there where Royal's Chicken is. That's Peters. That's that hood called a Vidoc. Grew up over there. Was shot at the age of 12. You know what I mean? On that same street. You know what I mean? 3 generations of Jacksons come through that neighborhood. Same house, 1103 Peters. And my dad, he changed the game when he brought us to Pickerington. When he pulled up and he put us in this, it wasn't even about the house. It was about the environment. It was about what was around us, what we were going to be exposed to. And we had already seen enough, right? I already seen people get shot right in front of me. I already seen people get jumped and beat up and all of that. And this is the kid that literally I felt like I was turned, like, turned gangster. You know what I mean? Like I was really like just a chill like kid, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to smoke for real. You know what I mean? And then I seen that didn't work. So let me go ahead and I put a bench press next to my bed and I was in that baby hitting. Before you know I was coming out, my dad said it looked like over summer, the man just changed. He said, look, I was tired of it. You know what I mean? I had to, but my kids aren't faced with that. And so I think sometimes that can cause and stimulate growth, and it can stimulate confusion for me, because there's
Mm.
times where that's all I know, right? Like when I was going through those
Mm-hmm.
moments, that's all I knew, right? Like I was so used
Mm-hmm.
to, it was so easy for me to adapt to being aggressive because I had a dad that when you came home, he said, you fight them or you fight me. Like, I
Come
mean,
on,
either way,
EJ.
you're going to have to throw the
Come
paws.
on.
So you want to throw them with me or
Yeah.
you want to throw them with him? And you got 7 brothers. So all y'all better be throwing paws. I don't care if one person fighting
Bull
or
in the
y'all
ring,
fighting.
huh?
They just didn't have enough friends. That my dad used to say, they just didn't bring enough fans with them when the altercation went down. That's all. There's no such thing as jumping in the hood. You didn't have enough friends with you when the
Yeah.
altercation went down. Now, when I look at my kids, I'm like, yo, I have to be able to scale back what I do to cater to where I'm really raising them. I got my kids in Pickerington. If I took Inez one time to Milo Grogan, a park I used to play at all the time, that boy was clenched to my hip. I thought he was about to go back where he came. I was like, gang, he could just feel the energy was off. You know what I'm saying? He like, Dad,
Yeah.
where we at? Kids walking out the rec center, they like, little dudes dribbling between the legs, like, just talking smack. Oh, you got a big head. You know what I mean? Just natural stuff that happened in the hood. And Inez like,
Right.
why he talking
Yeah.
about him like that? Like, why he doing that? I was like, look, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all, that's why I try to tell y'all, Dad come from
Yeah,
the trenches.
EJ.
You know what I'm saying? You had to have thick skin, gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
EJ.
either that or you had to be
Yeah.
willing to get down. And so I don't have my kids in them
Yeah.
in that environment. And so that's why I choose silence when I can't really articulate what I'm saying or need to say to my kids, because I don't want to talk to you as if you have to go out here and face gangs every day. You don't. I made sure of that. Like, I know you don't. So I'm not going to address you as something that you're not, but sometimes because the confusion comes in, and like I said, that's the good thing. The confusion comes in because I do have y'all out here, and I as a challenge for me to like untrain my brain that my kids aren't in that environment. So there's other ways to go about it. Just like I was never an idea of gentle parenting. What's gentle parenting? Like, huh? Like, nigga, you don't do what I tell you to do.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But gentle parenting looks like I feel like our parent, my dad probably smacked me as much as he smacked me because he really like, no, you gonna walk outside and you gonna do that and you gonna get killed. These little kids your age packing right now. And not saying that stuff ain't out here in Pickerington or in the suburbs, but it's a whole different beast, whole different animal, and it's definitely not that. And so I don't try to just resort to like even acting afraid or scared. And so it's like I said, it's just hard. It's been hard for me to just like formulate my words. It's really in the moment, and that's why, like I said, I'm super blessed. He who find a wife finds a good thing and inherits favor from the Lord. I feel like that's that inheritance that I get from my wife is that's that rib that was taken out of me is the fact that she brings articulation, understanding, all those things to the situation, and then I can then come in and be dad, right? In the way that my heart really wants to be there for you, right? Like my heart don't really want to scream at you.
So segue in that because you said a lot, and I was actually kind of leading into the question. I guess I'll start with Cleve. We'll work back with AJ, and if you feel like you got to add something, AJ, you can. But you kind of spoke on it. But for all of us, this is the accountability piece. What's one thing that you know you need to do better with your parenting style?
Tonality, in a word, it's very rarely, and this is specifically with my daughter, because my voice and her mother's voice is eventually going to be her internal voices, but tonality is everything. Like very, excuse me, sorry about that. I don't think very rarely am I saying wrong things. It's just how I'm saying it. Like I can be a smart aleck, you know what I mean, or I can be short. And one thing I've noticed about myself is when I get tired, like when I'm sleepy or fatigued, I don't got my patience ain't worth nothing. Like I ain't ready to deal with too much of nothing. Like I'm just gonna say it how it is. You can take it or you can leave it. You know what I mean? But with my daughter, it's definitely tonality. Like I said, just with this voice I got now, that is after 9 p.m. That's too strong of a voice for her. Like the way I'm talking to y'all, I'm just talking regular, but that's just too strong of a voice for her at 9 o'clock. So when I go in here in a second, when I talk to her, is all right. You ready? Yeah, I'm talking. I'm intentionally paying attention to my tone because I've never laid hands on my daughter. It's not that I won't whoop my kid because we was raised with whoopings, but I've never raised my hand or my voice to my daughter because I don't need to. Like I can tighten my voice up, and that's almost a whooping. That is a whooping for her. Like I can say a certain thing to her, and that's it. Like there's no need yelling or put my hands on her is overkill. And then again, it's not that I won't whoop her because I'm pretty sure when this second baby get here, he gonna play a no limit soldier. But until then, I parent my kid with my voice. So tonality is everything for real. And I don't have a kid on the way. That's how rumors get started. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah,
Hey,
clear that up, bro.
I was
Yeah,
about
you
to say,
about to.
can we follow that up with a question?
No,
So
I knew
are you
for a
trying?
fact,
Is
like,
this exclusive news? Let me edit the banner at the
No,
bottom. Cleo's having a
no,
Bam,
baby.
bam, bam,
I knew it
no,
was a comment.
not
I
Hey,
was
not
waiting
this
for a
hey,
one.
bam,
comment.
bam,
No,
bam.
there is no burn, burn, burn.
He said,
But no,
ah,
though,
he said he gonna
I,
put on the banner to scroll.
hey, I'm about to
Congratulations,
edit
baby.
I can
about to
definitely
edit the banner real fast. Like, hold on, Cleo
Yeah.
is having a baby boy, and
breaking
he
Oh
is.
no.
news. Breaking
Mm-mm.
news.
That's
Mm-mm.
funny.
But no, though,
No,
Tom,
That's
sir.
funny.
but no, though,
Maybe they kicked me
Clea,
out of
I'm with you
MIT.
though. You know, yeah,
Hey,
Clea,
for real
I'm
though.
actually with you though. Like, I think that for me, it would possibly be just like you said, just you know what I'm saying, like watching tonality is very very big. You know what I'm saying? Because like especially like me with having daughters and like even my teenage daughter to my youngest daughter, like just I wouldn't like if the male that they were dating or their husband or any male period we use that type of tone that I use sometimes with them. Like that would make me feel some kind of way. So it's like I'm just getting to the point to where, like you said, you don't always gotta yell, if not even yelling, just but we in my household, we're just working on a respect factor. All right, now if I tell you something, I need you to listen to me. I need you to be able to grasp what I'm saying, especially for my teenage daughter. I'm just trying to teach her life lessons as she's transitioning from a high school student to now a college student she's headed to. So it's like knowing what you want to be. And you got to think that you are the first representation of, especially for your daughter, on what a man should look like or how she should treat. But it's not even just how I speak to my daughter, but it's about how I speak to my wife in front of my children. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the tonality has to go both ways. And even the way that my wife speaks to me. So it's like all of those things is extremely important, especially when you're trying to raise the type of children that we're trying to raise. Like, and I just, what I'm saying, that was something that I struggled with. I was always aggressive because it was aggressive in my household. My mother was aggressive. She talked aggressive. My father, he stayed talking aggressive. My uncles, my aunties, my cousins, everybody talked aggressive. And it just, it was always conflict also too. So, you know what I mean? So I just think that we have to get to the point to where, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So when we break these generational curses, we got to change it somewhere.
That's
Yeah.
real. That's real. For me, I'll keep it short and sweet. Mine is basically, bro, just remembering, like, dude, your kids are not you at that age. They may have your genetic make. They may have your
Preach.
genetic makeup. They may have. They may look like you in some cases, but they are not you, bro. They are not in your situation you were at that age. And they remember also too, like, chop, keep it real with yourself. Like, you had to go through a phase of growing and learning how to navigate as well. You wasn't just came out how you was, and you know what I'm saying. You had to go through your phase to take your L's, get beat up, and all that stuff too, to you know what I'm saying, get to where you kind of figure some stuff out. And actually, your kids are smarter than you at that age than you were. And just cultivate, bro. Just remember to cultivate and put yourself in their shoes at times, and just think how they feel in those moments. And you know what I'm saying? It's kind of just reverse psychology on yourself, myself sometimes, because I sometimes I do rate, like everybody said the same thing. I'm sure every man with the raising the voice or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I got to go back and apologize. Sometimes I got to take a breather. Sometimes I got to just talk to them a certain way that I've never been talked to at that age in a in a heated moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's just realizing that, man, they not me, bro, and I wasn't them by far. So just putting myself in their shoes, moving accordingly, and just showing growth with them as I'm trying to help grow them.
That's a bar, bro. That's a crazy bar. Yeah, man. I'm hoping to continue to get better. I think that's the beauty in being an adult, being a parent. Being a servant and having that submitting heart. You know what I mean? Like I'm always asking God, like I want to be the dad for my boys that even though my dad was present, right? Like my dad was present, he was there, but there's a lot of things about him that I'd want to do different. And so, I always pray like God just give me the strength to just keep going. You know what I mean? Like, and if I had to drop any advice on any father out there, like, bro, like if you for one if you with your wife, like trust your counterpart, like don't try to bear all the work yourself. That's like key for me, like not like my shoulders is already heavy enough, and so that's probably why a lot of times it feel like it's like boiling water, boiling pressure, like, and then like this gets added on top of it and you feel like you about to explode because you already like sometimes I might be emotionally unstable. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of stuff going on where I'm trying to, I just want to see the best for my kids and I just want to see them try and do well, right? And put in the right effort. And so, like trust your counterpart, trust the person that God gave you. And if you don't have a wife, you know what I mean, and you still a dad, like find somebody that can help you balance. You know, that's my thing. Like I would find somebody that can help me balance, whether that's my parent, right? Like whether, hey, you know, somebody that I can say, hey, I don't have it all together, and I could really use some help in this area. Is there any tips or tricks, or you know what I mean, or you know, anything that you can help me do to be a better communicator with my kids? Because I thought communicating with kids would be like super easy, and my boy, like I found out that it's not. I found out that communicating with my kids is not the easiest thing. Um, Especially when they mama's boys. You know what I mean? Especially
Mm.
when like, you know, like my wife, like I believe time is everything. My wife spent 7 years with Inez. You know what I mean? Only really 1 year with Zay, you know, before she went back and got into the work field. Think of all that time. So like for me to like think that I could just carry it all on my shoulders, that would be like me discounting all the work that she put in. Like she already done laid a crazy foundation for the stuff. You know what I mean? For relationship, for guidance. And so, you know, I'm really happy, you know, that me and my wife can be at that point, you know what I mean, to where I can hear her and it don't feel like, you know, I used to always kind of like be a little bit against it because I'd be like, man, you ain't my mama. You know what I mean? Don't tell me how to feel about what my son
Hmm.
feeling. You ain't a man and da da da, right? Like, but like when I put that down and I realized like, yo, like bro, there's some things that came with your wife that you was not supposed to have. It's that missing rib, like, and you found
Mine.
her. So that's that. Like you gotta be open to what God's will is for what you got going on. Like you have to be open for what God's will got for your house. And in my house,
Yeah.
that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, and so, you know, to be open to it and be open to hearing and hearing the criticism. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, obviously some things have probably transpired in the past with sports and me blowing up on my kids. You know what I mean? Well, not really Zay, because Zay ain't really played no sports yet, but Inez, you know, when he was in football, you know, just trying to like embed toughness in him. Like no, versus like helping him understand. This is what my wife said. Help him understand what he's getting into. Help him understand what type of toughness to embody, and that he has to learn to love it. He has to learn to love it. It's not something that he's just going to love. Everybody don't like just being hit. Everybody don't like just being yelled at. And like Inez don't operate like that. This is how he rather the coach call to play. Inez, come here, son. Hey, so this is what you're gonna do, right? And slow it all the way down. But that's not what it is. And so helping him understand, like this ain't that. You know what I mean? Like this is not that. And you
Yeah.
know, I told him, I said, listen, Sledge gave him some great advice. He said, listen, if you love basketball, he said, who's your favorite player? He couldn't really tell him. I said, I gave him homework. I said, son, I want you to like watch basketball. And like not like in a week, because I don't want you to just bandwagon nobody. Like we don't bandwagon no athlete around here. That's one thing I will stand on. But because he might come back like, oh, you know, I'm a Braun fan. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You know, like I like Braun. You know, I've grown to like Braun. I used to be the biggest Braun hater. I feel like there's nothing to hate on now. This man is 41 and he's incredible. He's doing stuff that I can't even do at 36. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but at the same time, I want him to really like digest it. Like find, if this is your sport, find you a favorite player and just follow him. That's what most kids do. That's how they start ingraining themselves and engraving their own DNA with the game. You know what I mean? Like my favorite player growing up was Jordan. Now I stopped watching basketball when I realized I couldn't be like him for sure. Like I didn't have the God gift talent, but that was my favorite player. And I still to this day will go back on YouTube and watch all types of Jordan films, like just tapes of him playing, because I admire his game. But if you start off young, I didn't have like somebody that I like Jordan because my dad liked Jordan. And because we grew up in a house where you gonna like Jordan. Ain't no walk around here talking about you don't like Jordan. What? Huh? You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
not really understanding what Jordan really did for the game until I got older. Because I wasn't in love with basketball. He was just my favorite player. So I tell Inez all the time, don't pick people because I like them. The only thing you gotta like in this house is Ohio State. I will not tolerate having a son that likes the team up north. This is where we will start having problems. Disconnect is coming. Sever. like Chalk said. We're going to have to sever the relationship until you have counseling. Okay? But I want him to love it on his own. And I'm trying to teach him like sports and all that stuff. It's a journey, bro. Like it's a journey. Like and I've got friends that went off play D1 sports and didn't start playing football until sophomore year in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like skill is going to come in, and some people have it, and some people it has to just be groomed, right? And so that's my little bit of advice just for anybody out there. You know what I mean? Like especially if you got a special someone, bro. Like trust them and hold them and let
It,
them hold you accountable. You know what I mean? So
if I could double back on something, AJ, you said um, about like how you talk with your daughters. The one thing I thought about when you said that is we don't want to have them become desensitized to yelling or aggressive
Mm-hmm.
talk, or because
Yeah.
if any other we don't want them to think that that's okay because they're so used to, you know what I'm saying, their dad talking to them like that. So like we have to be
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
intentional with that because later on down the line, if we hear another male talking to her like that, it's up immediately. It don't matter who it is. So it's like,
Right.
all right, if you don't want nobody else doing that, then you can't set that tone. So she should be able to know and be able to call out, hey, my dad don't even talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain things like I don't tolerate.
Yeah.
Like I don't tolerate people curse. Like to this day, I don't tolerate people cursing me. Like my parents didn't curse me and they raised me. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that tone that's set in my life. So that's what's gonna be set for her is hey, my daddy don't make me cry. You know what I'm saying? My daddy don't hit me. My daddy don't talk crazy to
Yeah.
me. My daddy don't talk down to me. He don't call me out my name. And he raised me. You know what I'm saying? So that made me think of that when you said that earlier.
that's a good gem, Clee.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, man.
Yeah,
Well, this
man.
is good,
Y'all just want to
fellas.
go. Y'all just want to go around the room and just drop one point of advice. I've already given my advice, man. But if y'all just want to go around the room and just drop some advice,
I was about to ask if everybody can. This might be hard to do, but if you could say two words, it'd be advice driven. What would it be? Like, so, like, obviously, I've been thinking about it. So I'm like, okay, I would just say two words: pray more.
Mm.
Be patient.
Um, so you said pray more, shot. Please, you said be patient. I'm gonna say listen up.
Mm,
Listen up.
I don't really
Like
have
listen up.
two, but I do have three. And man, I just lost it. I was like, that was a good one. AJ, I was like over here pondering on that. Listen up. Um, oh, lead with love. That's one thing that I've been really like honing in. Like lead with love.
that's good. Lead with love. That's good.
Yeah.
That start all that off to be real. Yeah, lead with love. Mm,
Yes, sir,
all
man.
right.
Yes, sir. Nah, this is a great conversation, man. I think much needed. Um, glad to have
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
glad to had a pod back, man. This is gonna be new
I
look that we working out. Um, and until next time, man. We're gonna try to get back on here. I'm not sure if it's every week or every other week, but we definitely gonna be bringing y'all more content, man. And we streaming now, so you can always go on the YouTube and watch.
Man,
He
this
just
dude
he
ran
just
off
had
like
to
that.
go there, right? He just had
I
to
think
he just
he ran
had
off
to
because
just
Lay
go
done
there.
called him or
I'm thinking
something.
lay exactly,
Right.
shot. Like,
I'm about
What
to
is
send him the
that?
look,
thing
man,
like, hey, yo,
Oh,
sidebar.
close
that's that
My
flag
boy
this
is a,
football
out,
league.
man.
he in full
Close
dad
this,
mode right now. He doing what he got to
close this
do. And here
out,
come the
man.
belt.
this is my other baby.
Right, man.
He done came back
Hey,
like Joe Jackson with the belt.
Bad
nah,
GMing
nah,
in the
what's
championship.
Miami Hurricanes
Bad
do with the belt?
GMing.
That's definitely Clee. What's his name? The wide receiver, I forget his name. He was putting belts on every
Portland
jersey.
Michael Irvin.
Sutton.
Mike Irvin, yeah, that's Michael
Portland
Irvin.
Sutton.
It's
Might
It's
be
cool,
most
man. I just gotta figure out
fantasy
something. Just in case y'all wanted to
football
know how the belt
player
was
I've
doing.
ever seen in my life.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Just
that
in case
belt
they wanted
chunky
to know
though.
E
Portland
how it was
Sutton.
going.
I just can't believe he
Clee.
just
We're gonna
pooped the
let you get
bed
your
on me like
shine.
that.
Hold on.
He
Go
pooped the
ahead. You
bed.
got your final words, man. Final words with the
Hey,
belt.
Bro, I'm about to drop.
to quote the great Deacon AJ Young, there's winners and there's losers. You see
There's
you
it.
see how I
I
came
did
out.
say that.
Yeah,
Ha,
there's winners and
that's
there's
a really
losers,
good
baby.
one. That's a good one. That was really good though, Cleo. And I'm glad that's what you ended with. Like that was really good. You know what I'm saying? That was really good. I thought you was gonna hit me with the Ricky Bobby line. That if you ain't first, then you last. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I
Nah,
remember I
Matter of
this
told you that
words.
all week. I was saying that to you. All week I was saying to you that there's winners and there's losers. You know what I'm saying? You're right. I
yeah.
lost. I lost. I'm about to hang up now because that really just
Hey,
stung. You know what I'm saying? We only a few
listen.
weeks removed from me losing, and like that really just that upsetted me. That just upsetted me. That literally upset me. Yeah.
Yo, man, when the beef get going on the chop shop, it don't stop. Hey, I love y'all brothers, man. Hey, make
Hey, but
sure y'all
listen,
go out
before
there. Uh, what? Hold on, let me go back. Hey, he said he still got more to say.
I do, because you know what? I just know how this gonna go. Hey, you heard it here first. You beat me, I'm beating Shock. You beat me, I'm gonna
Ooh,
beat Shock.
ooh, White Shot got the rock
You beat
face
me.
on. That eyebrow went up like.
You beat me, I'm gonna beat
in
Shock.
the
You
in
know what
the
I'm
history
saying?
of this league, nobody that lost the Super Bowl has made it back that next year, sir.
No, 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 no. I'm
So
not talking about.
don't
I'm
even
saying I
worry
lost
about
to
it,
you in
man.
fantasy. I lost to you in fantasy
Hey,
football. We be shocking them in a tournament. All right, you heard it here
Oh, that's what
first.
we talk about.
yeah, that's what we saying. Yeah, nah.
You heard
This
it
is
I'm
here
all
gonna
first.
wax.
make
I lost
sure
I
it.
learned.
if that
I
game
learned my.
happen, I'm gonna make sure my. Well, I know EJ can get in on this media path. I'm gonna make sure Clee got seats to that. I'm gonna make sure Clee got
Oh, for
seats to that. If
Front
we
row
match
seat.
up, I'm gonna make
Hey,
sure
hey,
Clee's
Front
got
row
seats to
seat.
listen,
that.
they
it's gonna
banned me
be
from
me and the
coming.
belt right there.
They
Hey, no,
banned
they
me from
ain't letting
coming
you in
to
the
high
door
school
with that. They go like,
basketball,
"Hey,
man.
man, the metal detector going off too hard with that, my
What
guy.
metal
You can't
detector?
bring in the video."
Listen, they
Oh
banned me
no,
from
we'll
coming
be
to
at we
basketball
gonna be
games.
at we'll be at a we should be at a neutral site by then, Shock. So by the
Yep,
time we see
yep,
each other, we'll be at a neutral site.
I mean, why don't y'all
yep.
just put a push-up wager on it for the crowd right now? Why don't y'all just put a push-up wager on it? Well,
We can put a
smooth
50
hundred,
ball on it.
smooth hundred. Just go ahead and make it worth it.
Yeah, we can put a 50 ball on it.
Y'all heard it here first.
We can
Y'all
put a
might as well
50.
up the ante.
Yep, you heard it
If
here
you gonna put
first.
push-ups on it, you might as well go ahead and make them call outs. That's basically push-ups on
And,
demand.
and, and the push-ups got to be done on the podcast, on live streamed for the world to
Hey,
see.
remember we had that? Remember we had to push us on demand in the first fantasy league? Remember they
Yeah,
was doing it at the church? Remember we was at church
Yes,
doing
yeah.
push-ups in the
yes,
church?
yeah. You had to do push-ups. Yeah,
Bro, I
Game of the
lost
week had to
last
do
yeah.
year,
push-ups
bro.
on corner on the
Hey,
spot.
Game of the week, and
them
you had to
push-ups on
knock them
demand ain't
out,
no
and
joke. Yeah,
you had to post a video of you doing the push-ups. We got to bring that
I
back,
forgot
Shaq.
about
We
that.
got to bring that back. We got to bring that back. And if you
Y'all
don't
heard
post
Well,
the video,
if
remember we
you
gave him a
win,
timeline.
you
We
might
had
be able to make those type of decisions, AJ. But since you did not win, we do not want to hear from Scar. We want to hear from Pride Rock.
You're right.
Pride Rock says, "Great episode. We're out of here."
Hey, and remember the last time I won, right? Remember the last time Trump was in office, right?
Oh
Remember
my
the last
goodness.
time Trump was in office, right? Okay.
Man, you almost got
I
assassinated.
yeah, man. The Epstein files might come in handy.
Hey, shh. We can't talk about certain stuff now. Shh.
Hey, that's
Nah,
another
you're right. That
episode.
might get
That's
us
another
flagged.
episode, man.
We gonna get a cease and desist.
Man, y'all heard it here first, man. The chop shop. We got wagers going on. Who gonna win? Y'all let me know. AJ or Chop? Afrocentric or Harvest Prep? Will they even meet? If you don't meet them and one team go, this is how I feel like it should. If you don't meet in the playoffs, then whoever ain't in the playoffs and didn't get there, still need to do the push-ups on
I'm
live,
with you. I'm with that. I'm
live
with that.
stream. So it's not just
I'm
on
with
them
that.
two; it's on their team. So if the basketball players out there, y'all's coaches is out here, they going at it. Settle the beef once and for all, because AJ been talking since preseason, and I'm ready
Let's
to see who
go.
gonna win this. Hey, it is the Chop Shop. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all subscribe. Follow us on IG. Follow us on the Directors Den podcast. Hey, and we out. Yes, sir.